Shit, we should have wore a suit and tie for this. Oh, we blew it on that one. Alright, so here we are for another Blank Stare movie review.
Blank Stare, folks.
And we're going to talk about a really fun movie that I convinced this gentleman right here to go watch.
He did.
And Alex,
I gotta say, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I had that gut feeling before we talked about
Damn,
that gut
you had the
feeling.
spider sense.
I was like, that was gonna be
You
how
knew
good.
it.
It was way better than I thought. By the way, we're talking about Kingsman.
Kingsman.
The Kingsman.
The Kingsman. And I didn't see any of the other ones.
And-
So I didn't know what I was walking into. Wait, I lied. I seen 20 minutes of the first one and I thought it was straight garbage. But walking into this one, I gotta admit, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know. I thought I was walking into a straight garbage movie.
You're
again.
like, I didn't know.
I was like, damn. But boy, was I in for a ride.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be good because I'm a big fan of the last two, especially the first one. I'm actually a huge fan of the first Kingsman. The second one's okay. The scene where Merlin dies kind of like made me sad because I like Merlin. But this one, I knew it was gonna be good, but it surpassed all my expectations. It is way better than I thought it was gonna be. So this movie's actually an origin movie to the Kingsman's Secret Service, the beginning, and this movie takes place during World War Uno. Uno, and. So, Alex, what did you think from the top?
From the top of this movie, here we go. Put a seatbelt on. I thought this was fucking good movie. It definitely I didn't know what I was gonna get out of this thing, man. I didn't know what I was gonna get. I thought there was gonna be a lot of fucking corny one-liners. None. I don't think there was any. Not any.
There was one-liners, but they were good.
Yeah, and it was all purpose for the movie.
Yeah.
There was good. There was action, man. There was action in this movie,
and very serious moments.
very serious moments, and then
Spoilers.
Yes, spoilers. Again, I'm here. You guys get it by now.
Yeah.
But anywho, damn, yeah. So this movie,
Okay, so
let's kick it off
let's
from the
kick
top.
it off from the top.
Here we go.
It kicks off where
Let me reel it in.
Ralph Finesse. Is that how you say his name? We're gonna butcher names, man.
Yeah,
We're
we're
gonna
not
butcher
good with
names.
the name. We're working on this.
Okay, so the Duke of Oxford, the main character, he's a rich guy who basically he used to work in the military, but now he works for the Red Cross with him and his wife, and have their son with them, and
Right.
they're in Africa, and they're going to go help the war refugees
Right.
who are being locked up by the British government, and they're going to give them food and stuff. And while they're there,
Medicine,
medicine,
take care of them.
they're good people. And the mom tells Conrad, the son, and he tells
Little
him,
boy.
like, it's like, well, we do this because you remember the King Arthur story where all men are equal in the round table.
At
There's
the
no
round
one
table.
leader, and it's the people in power should help those less fortunate.
Especially,
That's how
yeah,
you
the
earn-
1%. She
Yeah.
basically says the 1%ers are pretty much, they're supposed to help.
Yeah.
That is, this is their civil duty. She
It's
did
a civil duty. Yeah, you're not. Yeah, it's basically saying like, because we can't help, we should help.
Right.
Basically, like Batman's parents.
Yeah.
And so that's what they're there for. But while they're there, they get ambushed. The base gets attacked and accidentally
By a sniper.
Accidentally, the Duke's wife, the main character's wife, gets killed.
Because I think he was aiming for the Duke.
He was aiming for the
Duke-
general.
the general,
The general.
that's right.
He was aiming at the general.
Because,
And
I'm guessing too, they suppress their people.
Yeah.
We don't know what,
Well, that's bring up later on. They mentioned that.
Yeah, they
Well,
do mention it, and this is very accurate on what's going on in historical.
And another thing that this movie surprised me is the fact that how much heart was in this movie, how much of a message it had to do with the horrors of war.
Yeah.
And that's a big theme of this movie, and
Yeah.
it was pretty cool.
The cost of lives, man.
Yeah.
Because they do bring that up multiple times.
right?
What war really does to
people,
people, the people that actually go and serve,
Yeah.
not the people that are calling the shots. 'Cause
Yeah,
they
'cause
don't
they don't
care. That's the ego. That shit's just ego.
Yeah.
But I mean, the people that are really dying
out there, yeah. And so the mom, when she's dying, tells the Duke of Oxford, the main character, that don't let our son see the horrors of the world. Protect him. Always protect him. Don't let him.
So I mean, he took that shit to heart.
And he took that, yeah, because it jumps forward and you see his son. Also, I thought from the trailers, I wouldn't like his son. His son just seemed like one of those like, I'm a tough guy. I'm all about, I know what's up. But then once he's in the war, he's like a little bitch. But he wasn't.
Nah.
He had courage. He had honor. He had He had respect for his dad. He was
But his dad kind of like built. I mean, his dad always like
told him what it meant to be a gentleman, like a real.
a man,
Yeah.
like, you know, and
Yeah.
like you got to hold your own, and you got to go get your own. Like
his
he
dad-
always would tell him that.
Yeah, and his dad never sugarcoated how they got their money.
Nah, he did.
Yeah.
His dad never lied about shit. Like he kept it real. He kept
Yeah.
it 100. He kept it real.
always
And
told- yeah.
I like that. Like I like that part of it where it's
Yeah.
like, you know, but the only problem is he never let the kid do anything.
Right, he always kept him sheltered, but he'd tell the kid how the world is.
Yeah.
But he kept him sheltered all
But
the
you
while.
can't expect somebody
Who lost
with
their
privilege
life. Yeah.
go also to be sheltered their whole life and never get a chance to
Go out there.
go out there and
Yeah.
see. You know, he never let them go out there and see the world. Where
Yeah.
it's like the only way you're gonna learn in life is by making mistakes and living your life.
Right.
So, but he was afraid of letting his son live.
Yeah, because he's afraid of his son getting hurt, and
Right.
he made a promise to the
His
wife.
only son.
And he even tells his son from the start, like, we have our money because our ancestors did shady shit.
Yeah,
and
he
they
did.
killed people.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
didn't.
that was cool.
We weren't born with money. We took from other
Yeah,
people,
you
and this
say
is how
we
we
weren't
are.
real gentlemen.
This is how
We-
we're gentlemen
yeah.
now, is because our ancestors screwed over a
heathens.
bunch of lives. Yeah, they were bad people.
They were bad
But
people.
he's
I mean,
not-
he really made
Yeah.
sure you understood that too in this movie. Like,
Yeah.
it was very like.
And that's why he's so driven to do good, because he's trying to give back, because he understands how he got to the privilege, and he's
Yeah.
trying to help other people who can't help themselves. But so this is all in the backdrop of World War One, and so all the while Conrad wants to join the war. He wants to join. He wants to do his part for his country, and he's like, oh, I have to help my country, and
Especially back then, they sold that shit a lot more. Like, you know
well,
what
like
I mean?
every other country, like here too. And
Well,
everything,
yeah, but I feel like back then it was like very, very. I mean, they would set up, you know,
they
pictures of-
romanticized war more. They made
like,
it look
to
like it's an
die
honor.
is
Yeah,
to
to die
be-
for your country is like
Yeah.
this big old thing. Like you're a hero,
Right.
And the dad keeps telling him all the while, like, no, don't go die for your country. It's not worth dying for your country. That doesn't mean anything. And they're like, oh, well, he's like, there's that scene where he's like, people in town gave me a feather, meaning I'm a coward. And it's like, well, the alternative is to go out there and take lives. Like, I was in war. I killed people. I took
Yeah, and
people's
he
lives.
tells him about
It's like,
his backstory, which
He's
is
like, I wish I'd gotten a feather, and that'd be a lot easier on me than having to like relive and rethink and think about all the horrors I had
All
to
the men
do.
he killed, 'cause
Men
he
killed.
says, too.
He says he saw his reflection as he was killing somebody. He saw what he's become, and he's like,
monster, man.
he's like this, he's killing other people who are just as scared as he is.
Well, and he even says
Yeah.
like, I'm killing these people.
For
But
defending their home.
all they're doing is just defending themselves. They're just defending
Their home.
Their home.
Their
They're
country.
protecting themselves.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going in there and we're stripping them for all the resources and killing them and all this shit.
Yeah.
And he realizes
In
like,
the name of country.
yeah, and he's like,
Yeah.
it's just wrong. Like he knows that morally it's wrong.
Yeah, more exactly, and that's what he's trying to tell his son. Of course, his son doesn't listen, and his son ends up joining the army.
Like
but,
any young person does. Like, my parents don't know nothing.
right.
We all rebel.
Right, exactly, and all the while there's this guy who's running like a Spectre type of thing, where he's trying to take over the world, and he's trying to get England to go to war with Germany, and Germany to go
Ooh,
with
the
Russia.
plot thickens on that one.
Yeah,
that
the plot's thick on that one, and basically, like a lot of this ties into real life, but it's like almost alternate universe type of real life.
Yeah,
shit.
none of this probably shit really did. I mean, a little bit, most of it did happen, but the way the actual story plays, the characters didn't do this shit.
Yeah, exactly, and
I mean, as
yeah.
far as I know, I don't know.
Yeah. And so he's trying to get Russia, Germany. He's trying to spark World War One. It's
Right.
really what he's trying to do. And,
Without, like, it's weird. Anyways, go ahead, sorry.
and
Elaborate.
and then there's so that's the whole thing is he's got spies everywhere trying to like spark war and trying to like
And then
flame it and like
he got them in key positions. Each person is in a key position to be
basically influence the leader.
influence each one of the leaders. And so this was interesting on like how
It was, yeah.
how he played that.
And there's not a lot of humor in this movie. There's only one character who I thought was very humorous, Rasputin, but he was awesome.
he was.
He was right before the movie.
But
told
I
him-
mean, he was. I think he played himself, like how he probably would be.
well, Rasputin was fucking crazy. He was not a normal person. Like he wasn't like he's not like you and me. He had those crazy eyes. and but before the movie, I was telling him, hey, here's some backstory on Rasputin. I had no idea it was gonna play into the movie, but I was just like, I like history. I
Right.
like historical figures in real life. I think a lot of stuff's interesting. So I just knew about Rasputin a little bit, and I was telling him what I knew about it. Lo and behold, it played into the movie.
It did.
And it was cool. It's a cool twist. Rasputin is basically the guy in charge of making sure that Russia goes to war or backs out of the war, right? Yeah, they're making sure that that Rasputin that Russia gets out of the war so that so England can be taken down without
Right.
help. And like, dude, it was funny watching him on screen. he was some of the levity in the movie because after the Rasputin thing, it goes dark.
It does.
It does. Because basically Rasputin, he dies like he dies in real life, but alternate way where it's like these main characters. There's no Kingsman service in this point in the movie, by the way.
Nah, this is just the beginning, so it's kind of like...
And the dad's completely against war, and one of the things he tries to do to convince his son not to go to war is show him he's starting to lay the foundation to the Secret Service of Kingsman. Because he doesn't trust governments to do what's better for the people.
Yeah, he feels like they're only going to do what's better for...
themselves.
Right.
And so that's how he comes up with the idea of the rest of the Kingsman is we're going to work in shadow.
But he doesn't say this yet.
He doesn't say this yet. It's just very early foundation.
This is just, there's probably barely a thought in his brain at this point.
And he brings his son into the fold. That way his son could so his son could see what really goes on.
I think he did it a lot. I think he kind of did that too to keep his son from joining. It was a big, it was a curveball. Yeah, so he's like, it was a way for him to still be around his son and keep an eye out on him because he knew that if he was going to join the service,
he's cannon fodder.
He can't control him. He can't be there for his son. But if he was to bring him in through this, it would be closer. Their bond would be closer, and more than likely,
and they're more effective.
His son wouldn't join.
Yeah, and they're more effective because basically he doesn't want his son to go to war because he's going to be cannon fodder. He's like, you think you're doing great service for the country? Killed. Yeah, but that's the thing. He's like, you think you're doing this great service for your country, this and that, and you're helping your country, but they're just throwing you out there to go fucking die. Mm-hmm. And how is that helping anybody?
He even tells the general that.
He even tells the general, He
calls him out on his shit.
And that's why he brings his son over here to take out Rasputin. Because they're like, this is how you could really help out your country. This is how you can really help people out, is by taking out the head of the snake. Well, what they think is the head of the snake.
They thought.
Yeah, and he's hoping that by his son helping his dad do this, he could get that, I help my country out already, and just be cool about it. And so they go and they take out Rasputin, which was cool because like in real life, like he eats a shitload of poison, doesn't die. He gets shot multiple times, doesn't die. He gets drowned, still gets back up, doesn't die. Until they shoot him in the head, and he finally goes down.
Finally,
and
fucking dragon has been slayed.
And that's what happened in real life, but this is done more of a play.
But he fixes
the dude's leg.
He fixes his leg, so then
So because Rasputin in real life had powers, because he was
I wouldn't say powers. I just would say the dude was knowledgeable on the dark arts.
Yeah. But he was some shady shit. But I don't think he had powers in real life. That's not what I'm saying.
No.
But in the movie, he doesn't either.
No, it's just perspective. I mean,
it's a show, theatrical.
It's theatrical. The dude, like I said, the dude knew about probably a lot of this different ancient shit, like healings and stuff like that are that's out there. It's knowledgeable for most people, but most people won't take the time to actually know this shit.
Like he looked into the crevices and shit.
Yeah, and he probably grew up from He grew up from the hood, from the bottom, so he probably, you get taught this shit as a kid and learning this stuff because you don't have the money or you're not a rich person.
Traditional medicine.
Yeah, so you had to learn how to heal yourself.
Outside the means.
Right.
And so after they kill him, the dad kind of thinks like, that's it, man. Like my son's got, we did it. We served our country. We helped a bunch of people. We're good. And
by the way, too, I called out. I told him earlier in the movie.
Did.
I did. I
was
very
like, early. I don't know how I guessed it.
I was idea. Good because I pay attention to the clues.
You got some Rasputin shit going on.
I do. Yeah. You got it's all in the clues, man. They give you clues. You just got to piece it together. But anyways, I knew who the bad guy was in the beginning. I told him.
You did.
I did.
You did.
I told him like, bam.
And it's not one of those things where people go like, that's the bad guy. That's the bad guy. That's the bad guy. That's the nope. It's it. You take enough guesses, you're gonna get it.
Right.
But he's like, that's him. And I was like, get the fuck out of here. No way. I'm like, you just literally met the dude twice. The dude's been on camera in the background twice.
For like a minute.
For like a minute combined.
Yeah.
With like 2 lines at this point in the movie. And you're like, that's the bad guy. I'm like, no, there's the fuck are you hiding?
And he tells me there's a lot of twists and turns in this movie, so I don't know. Yeah. He didn't want to admit it or hear it. Yeah. But boy was
you were right. And I was
hands off. I guessed that one.
Yeah, you did. Very impressive. Very impressive. And so anyway, but that wasn't enough for the son. He still wanted to go help out the war. And he signs up against his dad's wishes.
Against the general telling him that he wasn't ever going to join, and against the fucking main dude even told him like, make sure your son will never be in
the King Charles.
King Charles even said that he was gonna do it.
Whoa. Well, but yeah. So what happens is, like in real life, the Kingsmen though intercept a telegraph from Russia, from Germany, to Mexico to try and get Mexico to attack the U.S. so the U.S. won't interfere in the war because they're fighting in Mexico at the time. That's the thing that happened in real life. That the U.S. intercepted the letter, and Mexico never joined against the United States, and that encouraged the U.S. to join World War I.
Because both times in the war, we weren't going to go actually in the war.
In the war,
that's crazy.
Exactly. Yeah, it's kind of nuts.
We were the last ones to go.
Yeah, and then we get all the credit. It's like basketball, man, where you don't do anything all the game. Well, I mean, they did a lot of stuff. People died and everything, but like.
I get what you're saying. The war has already been going on, so there's already casualties, and then we decide
we're the guys with the fresh legs.
Bring them in, bring them in.
And so anyway, so freaking so the Kingsmen though, they're the ones who intercept the telegraph, and they give it to King Charles, and King Charles.
Mind you, this is only one woman really breaking and decoding.
Oh yeah, this one woman.
This is before they had all this, gadgets and all that. It was just one girl, one lady, one woman. One woman deciphering all this stuff that they had a team. They actually the military had a team of people doing it. They couldn't do it, and she did it.
Well, that was the whole reason that they made the Kingsmen, is because the countries don't work with each other.
Yeah.
And their secret agents were basically everywhere getting information from this country, that country.
Their agents were just normal people. They're just people that work for rich people. Yeah, servants working for rich people and rich military people in high places.
And so that's how they got it all figured out. And as a favor, King Charles pulls his son out of the war because his son went to war without, because he turned 19, which is age, and he goes to war. And so King Charles pulls him out. But twist, or not really, but still. But
I mean, I didn't see it coming. I didn't see it
because it's only a twist if you've seen the other movies.
Okay.
Because if you haven't seen the other movies, you don't care. But basically, what ends up happening is Conrad, the son of the main character, Duke of Oxford, he switches places with another random soldier.
Yeah.
But this random soldier turns out to be Harry from the original movie, Galahad, and so he sends Galahad in his place to talk to his dad so that Conrad can stay in the war. But
basically letting his dad know that he's safe and he's cool, and he had to do this because he was, no matter what his dad was gonna say or do, because his dad put all these roadblocks in front of him, he was still gonna do it.
Yeah, he's still gonna be in the war. He's
still gonna do what he's gonna do.
And while he's out there, there's this dude who's running across the trenches with a message. He's a spy.
He's a spy. Well, he's
spying on Germany.
Germany, yeah.
And he gets my shredder. And he gets knocked down.
Sorry.
He gets the dude gets blown up while he's trying to bring the letter back. So they need volunteers to go get the letter back. And Conrad volunteers first one to volunteer because he's all about hung ho, king and country, and this and that.
Let's go get him.
Let's go, And your country needs you. And he volunteers, and 6 other dudes go with him, and they all go over there.
Not by choice.
He's the only one he's got a lot of courage. And I liked his character. I actually thought he was a really good character. He had courage, he had bravery, he had skills, he could fight. He's not a coward. He's honest. He's got all the things a main character in a hero story has. He had all of this. But don't spoil it yet.
I'm not. I want to. Yeah, but I'm not going to.
And I know you had a problem with this scene, so go ahead and tell the people what happens when they meet the other German soldiers. Take it from there.
Oh well, they meet the other German soldiers, and
who are also looking for the letter.
Yeah, so
nighttime.
So basically, the dude, the spy comes running out, gets blown up. You don't really see him fly in pieces, but you see a bomb just get dropped on him. So they wait till later on at night to go and retrieve this. Now, so is the Germans. The Germans are going to do the same thing because obviously they are trying to figure out what the fuck's going on here.
Yeah.
This guy's running out. He's waving a flag, and he was waving
what's it called? What's the flag though?
Oh shit!
Is that Jolly Roger?
No, it ain't no Jolly Roger.
No, Jolly Roger. No. What is the flag?
Anyways, he's whatever. I forget exactly what it's told. One of the historians. You guys leave a message, and you guys can let us know what it is. But anyways,
Union Jack.
The Union Jack. Never mind. We beat you to
Union
it.
Jack.
Anyways, so he's waving the flag. Anywho, so they go. And they can't make noise because at this point they know that during the war, if you hear any noise on the field, they just light you up.
Yeah, both sides light you up. They
don't care who it is on whose side.
Yeah.
The moment they hear something coming from the dead man zone.
Yeah.
Dead man zone. It's on. They shoot the flares up and they just start
blasting
whatever's out there. They don't care. So in order to fight these German dudes, they put their pistols down and then they get into an old fashioned knife fight, baby. And that was pretty cool.
That was good.
That was good.
Which is a crucial moment for Conrad too.
Yeah, because it's like he needs to step up for his guys that basically just got thrown into this bitch to fucking die.
Yeah.
And
While Conrad's fighting, he's fighting this dude with a gas mask, and they're fighting, and it's a faceless villain. It's just the enemy, you know, blah, 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 you're not meant to think. It's like stormtroopers, you don't care. They're stormtroopers, they're bad guys.
Yeah.
That's it. But when he's about to kill him, the dude takes off his mask and goes like, "No, please don't help me." They're
he's
like the
telling
same
him,
age.
please don't kill me, man.
Don't kill me. And they're the same age, and that's when Conrad realizes, like, fuck.
That's
man,
his mirror.
That's his mirror. We're
that was
fighting
for
ourselves.
his dad, like his dad,
Yeah.
how his dad seen himself in the mirror.
Yeah, it's like-
that was his mirror, realizing like,
It's like all these people who they're in the same four country, they're just on opposite sides, and they
We're
just got
killing
thrown out
them.
there to go get killed. That's literally what everybody's out there for, just to go get killed. And he sees his comrades dying. He sees everyone dying, and when Conrad's about to get killed, he kills the kid. Which I thought he was gonna let him live, but he actually killed him.
He had to, bro. Because the other two, there's two other guys
still
end up killing this other dude. One of the guys that just got thrown into it killed him pretty brutal, and then they see him, they start creeping up to him, and that's like, damn.
Which was very different from the Rasputin fight, because the Rasputin fight is very well choreographed, very well shot. Like, it's filmed amazing. It's very enjoying to watch them fight Rasputin.
Yeah,
it's very like a ballet, like a dance. It looks really nice.
They show that Russian dance, you know?
But when they're in the trenches, it is not a beautiful fight anymore. It is fucking down in the mud, gritty. But Conrad's about to get killed, and when the guy in charge of the good guys pulls out his gun and to save Conrad.
The one thing that he shouldn't have never done, but he had
to do it because they were gonna die.
They were
gonna die.
They're outnumbered. There's 4 guys to 2 guys.
And if Conrad dies, it's 4-1.
Yeah.
And he pulls out his gun and he kills the guy about to kill Conrad, giving Conrad a chance to run, but that's when they start lighting up the trenches.
Oh, shot the flares and and so the dude that shot just gets fucking he tries to hold the body up, remember?
And Conrad's telling him like, "Hey, he's on our side. He's on our side."
But it didn't matter because the bullets were coming from.
No, but the way it was meant to look is like he gets mostly blasted from behind, which is his own side. And that's when Conrad realizes like, there's no honor here. There's he didn't die honorably. He didn't go down with like this fucking great heroic.
I think that's the point where he realized everything that his dad has told him. It's absolutely true, and he's just like fuck.
Yeah, and he
just takes off running,
trying to survive
because the flares are up. They can see it's like daylight, and they're just shooting them both sides, just shooting them. So he runs and he hits like a big
he falls into a hole.
Yeah, he falls into
a crater
from the shelling.
And that's where he meets the guy who was bringing back the letter, the spy.
Okay, this is where this part kind of this is where I had an issue with this part.
You did have an issue, but I think you're nitpicking, I felt.
I probably am nitpicking.
But the guy survived, but he's missing his leg, and he's just sitting there chilling.
He's just literally just sitting there.
He accepted his fate. He accepted he's like, I'm gonna die.
I mean, his leg is fucking blown off.
But he knows he's gonna die.
And he's just sitting there just like nothing.
But he knows he's going to die.
No pain, no nothing. I mean, dude's home. He's been sitting out there all day.
He probably had morphine.
He's been sitting there all day. 12 hours, leg blown off.
We missed the part where he goes through the stages of depression. And he's to the part where he's just, fuck it, I accept it. I'm dead.
Well, anyways.
That's what I thought. We disagreed on that, but yeah. And when he meets this guy, Conrad's like, oh man, this is horrible. My dad was right. Like I wasn't ready for this. It's like, this is not what I thought war was.
Starts crying.
He starts crying. And the guy tells him, it's okay, lad. You know, this is...
So Conrad's crying on the guy with the blown off leg.
Because Conrad hasn't gone through the stages of grief yet.
But the dude with no leg is just chilling there.
You're nitpicking the shit out of it. Okay.
I had to. I had to get it out. I had to let you guys know. It bothered me.
It did. I don't know why. It's not that big a thing. But anyway, whatever. Moving on. But Conrad's like, you know what? No, we're both going to live. I'm going to carry you on my back, and we're going to go back to our side.
You're going to live with me, man.
Yeah. And Conrad carries him, and as he's carrying him, they're both... The English side is now sees that it's a good guy, and they start protecting him, but the Germans are still trying to kill him. And right when he's almost there, the bomb hits them both. And the guy with one leg dies, but Conrad lives.
Because Conrad had him on his back, so that dude took the blunt of the impact, you know.
And
poor dude. I mean, he wasn't gonna make it anyway back then.
No, yeah, he wasn't
no
gonna
leg,
make it, but it would have been crucial though.
It would have, but it would have twisted the story around for what's to come now.
Yeah, but go ahead, tell the audience it's emotional. We looked at each other like.
So Conrad jumps back into the hole. He makes
good
it.
Guys, yeah.
Good guys. He makes it. So he's all fucking. Everybody's like, what? Like,
you're a hero, man.
Yeah, you're a hero. What's your name? What's your name?
Yeah.
So what does he tell him?
He tells him Harry's name.
He doesn't tell him his name.
Because he switched spots with Harry.
Right. Harry's back at home with his dad.
So he can't tell people he's Conrad, or they would have kicked him out of the military.
Right. And
So
he tells them that he's Harry's.
And everyone's like...
But one guy steps up and was like, "You're not fucking Harry." Like, he's like, "That's not... I know who he is. I used to be friends with him. I was friends with him back...
And I've been looking for him.
Before the war. Like, we were friends before the war, and I've been looking for him." He's all, "That ain't you." Well, the other dude is like a captain dude. I want to say he's like
the spy guy. He tells me, he's like, "Well, he can answer your questions, but he's dead." And he goes, "Well, I can explain everything."
He's like, "Wait, let me explain."
And he pulls
out the gun and just...
he pulled out the German thing that had the letter from the spies in it.
Well, yeah, he does.
Yeah. And when he pulls it out, the dude...
First, he's like, he's a spy. That's what he says.
He says he's a spy.
He's a German fucking spy.
And he's like, no, I can explain
it.
Boom!
In the head.
And me and you looked at each other like,
whoa. I wasn't expecting that.
It totally threw me for a loop, man.
It did. I wasn't ready for that.
They killed who I thought was going to be the main character.
He thought.
Because he had all this virtue, and he was such a good person. He was a hero. He had courage, this and that.
He was a sacrificial lamb. I knew it. Yeah. And I told you that.
And right when he figured out, like, everything his dad said was true, like, he gets killed. Like, that took some balls in this movie, man. Because he never got a chance to talk to his dad. And the one thing
that his dad was trying to protect him from became true.
Damn. And he even gets warned. It's like, the harder you try to protect people from something, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. And that's what ended up happening. Conrad dies, and I was, like, shocked.
I mean, crazy by his own people.
Yeah,
on his own side. That's crazy. That's insane. What after doing all that? What?
Yeah, to help his country,
and then surviving Rasputin and all that, and then this shit is like, damn.
Yeah, and his country kills him. His own country, his own side kills him.
I mean, but back then that was war, man.
No, it was war.
You don't know.
Right. But that's what I love about this movie. It does a good job of setting up. Like, look, just because you're a soldier, you're not a real fucking hero.
I mean,
you're not.
What happens if he was a fucking Russian spy and German spy started shooting him? You don't know.
And then the dad hears about it from Harry.
Oh man!
And he goes into depression, man. Starts drinking. He gives up on the whole network and everything.
Yeah, man. I mean, any parent would probably do that.
Oh, right. It's hard, man.
That's a hard grieving period, man.
He lost his wife, and he made his wife a promise, and he failed on that too.
And he broke his promise, letting him into that shit too, telling that.
Yeah. So fuck. So then, but eventually, the nanny talks him. Well. His son gets a Purple Heart for his valor, and his dad never gives a shit about what they call a Purple Heart in their country.
During the wake, right? Whenever he's talking, he makes sure that he lays it on thick.
Oh yeah,
because in that speech, he makes sure that everybody
at Conrad's funeral, he tells everybody like, "Fuck your king service,
fuck everything, fuck you guys all for killing my son."
You sent boys to go die. You sent kids to go do your fucking work, and they're all dying out there.
He made sure he was looking at
his friend, the King of England, and he's like, "I'm looking at you, motherfucker. Like, I'm looking at you. This is your shit." And
blood's on your hands, pretty much.
And then that's when but the nanny kind of talks him out of it. I don't know if you were there for that part. If you took a commercial break,
I did take a commercial break.
The nanny tells him like, "You know what, man? I quit. Like you're soiling his memory. You're not doing anything. You should be the man he would have grown up to be, because he would have grown up to be something special. Yeah. And you're over here in your own like wallowing in your own pity, drinking, and you're nothing. Your son wouldn't want you to be this. Your son would have been a better man." And that's when he's like, "You know what? You're right. Like, you're right. I'm gonna step up for my son. Like, I'm gonna step up." And that's when he starts doing the Kingsman thing again, because now they know that there's a shadow organization in charge of everything. Yeah. They know there's something's up. They know that it's bigger than what they thought.
Yeah.
And
they started going hard on getting all the evidence, like to make sure that they know who this person is, who are all these people really, like where are they at. So they go to they talk to, what did they end up talking to?
Well, the U.S. president is getting blackmailed.
That's right. The U.S. president is getting blackmailed. It's a whole Marilyn Monroe thing all over.
Yeah, it is. And they get the girl who had the scarf, and they're like, "Oh, the scarf comes from only one spot."
That's right. He was gonna go have a meeting in the U.S. That's right.
Yeah.
And he ends up
seeing the scarf.
Feeling the scarf because it's a certain cashmere scarf that's only in one place.
Yeah, and they know that she's a bad guy. So then they go to where the main villain is, And that's where you get your classic Kingsman thing, where it's just action after that.
Yeah.
But the rest of this movie before that was it was emotionally heavy.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. I didn't expect that because the other movies are straight comedies.
Yeah.
And with
God it
real
wasn't.
shit sprinkled in there too. But this one was more real shit with humor sprinkled in there.
Yeah.
And they go and they take and they go and they fight the main bad guy, and it's kind of cool. If you've seen the other movies, if you're a fan of this franchise like I am, you see a lot of the sprinkle stuff of the origins of how the whole thing started, of how the whole Kingsman thing came together. Like,
Okay.
Because the son
I haven't seen it.
the son Conrad's always been a fan of King Arthur, and that's how they get the code names, because in memory of his son, he gives like Galahad and this and that. He's King Arthur and this and that, and it was cool. It was cool to see the main bad guy. You know, at this point in the movie, it just becomes your classic action kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's good action.
It wasn't bad. It was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Especially the rock climbing thing. That was
intense, bro.
It was.
Yeah, so
with the goats or with the
Duke Oxford
Rams.
Whatever
they are.
Well, he wants his Shola. He's a black guy in the movie who's hella cool. He's a badass fighter.
He's his right hand man.
Yeah,
he would be his right hand man.
He tells him, "Hey, you jump out of the plane and then you lower the elevator and we'll go up." And he's like, "Nope."
Homeboy doesn't.
Nope.
His feet doesn't leave. He says it even in the beginning when they were flying. He's like, "My feet don't leave the ground."
Like, if God wanted us to fly, he'd give us wings.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
and he's stuck by that.
And so Galahad's like, "Well, I mean not Galahad. I'm sorry, King Arthur or Duke, the Duke of Oxford goes, well, I can't ask somebody to do something I wouldn't do."
Right.
So he's like,
it's just like, well, and then the girl was like, "Well, can't you just
jump out the plane?"
Because he's like, he introduced the parachute. So he's like, "Can't you just jump out the plane with the parachute?"
He's like, "But what about the plane?" He's like, "Let the plane crash."
Yeah,
like,
well, who cares?
Who cares about the plane? He's like,
"You're not." Yeah.
He's like, "I guess I'll do it." Like, and dude, that was intense. Yeah. Like that was intense because he ends up crashing on the side of the cliff, and it's a steep, straight, vertical cliff.
Dude, you're dropping from this. You're splat.
Yeah, it is
splat.
Yeah, it's a huge clip, and that was very well shot, very well filmed. It felt like, dude, this thing could go any second now. Like the whole time, I was like, "Don't blink, because what the hell's going on?"
I was all thinking like, how that the way this makeshift little fucking knives and stuff. I was like, that ain't gonna do nothing.
It didn't do nothing.
And luckily, he's seen how the goats were getting up, and he's just like, all right, I gotta be.
Yeah, it was funny that the goats were just nonchalant looking at this dude. It was like the goats were probably thinking like, "This guy's an idiot.
Yeah.
This guy's a moron.
You don't got the
They're
right
probably
shoes
taking
for
bets.
this.
He ain't gonna make it. I bet he ain't gonna make it." But he ends up making it, which is even cool when he gets headbutt.
He does.
He does get held. I was like, "Oh man,
he could have been life or death fucking fall right now."
Yeah, this guy's made of different stuff. And he gets up there, and then he fights the main bad guy, and it's a lot of cool fights. And the big security
his
dude,
right hand man,
the big dude. But they're cool action fights. They're really good. They're really well shot. This is what I hate quick cuts in movies, and this movie does a really good job of keeping all of it in the middle of the film. Yeah. But the camera moves around the fighting, but it never cuts away from it, and it looks very good. And that's where the bad guy actually comes up with the line, "Manners maketh the man." The man.
Now you know where it comes
now
from.
I know where it comes from, which I thought was weird that it came from the bad guy, because he's not a gentleman. Even he goes, "Fuck this gentleman bullshit." Like,
homeboy tried to shot his right hand man in the freaking shoulder.
Well, because he jumped in front of the bullet for the Duke of Oxford.
Well, yeah, because he was gonna play dirty.
He even tells him at the end, he's like, "So you won't jump out of an airplane, but you'll take a bullet." And
he's like, "Yeah,
it seems that way. It looks like that. Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Fine."
And so yada yada yada. They take out the bad guy. It's kind of like action.
They save the day.
And then at the end of the movie they have the classic
Taylor. They go to
the Taylor place,
Kingsman.
and
they go to the Kingsman shop.
And now they set up the
actual office.
They set up
the main office.
Yeah, the main office,
because they feel more comfortable discussing it there, because they don't outside of politics.
Yeah, and what's his name? John Houson. He's the right hand man. He's the black dude. I forgot his name. Shola, I believe his name. He becomes the first Merlin.
He does.
That was cool.
Yeah.
He becomes the first Merlin. Harry becomes Galahad, which is cool because it didn't click till right there. Like, it was like, oh, wait a minute, that's the same Harry from the original. That's cool. It's a young Harry. And the Duke of Oxford, the main guy, becomes the first King Arthur. And I thought that was awesome. The nanny becomes the first. Oh, I forgot her name. But basically, they get the codes, and it's the start of it.
This is the beginning of the
the Kingsmen.
The Kingsmen.
And all in all, man, I loved this movie. I thought it was the best Kingsman. If you're a fan of this franchise, I thought this is the best one.
I haven't watched any of them, but he just basically told me, "Don't even watch the first two. Just ruined it."
Because here's the thing. Here's how I feel for you. I feel because you saw this one, how serious it takes itself, and how serious the tone is.
I liked it.
You go watch the other ones, you're like, all the shit I like is not even the original.
I know, and I think
Yeah.
he's right. So
And
I don't know.
yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna watch them. Maybe
Yeah.
I will. Maybe I won't.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I love the first ones, but this is the best one far and away.
And I would say these are the best ones because it's the only one I've seen.
Yeah, so for me, like I said, new rating system, I give this 8.5 out of 10.
Okay, I give it a 7.5. I give it a 7.5 just because I did watch 20 minutes of the other ones and they suck.
That has nothing to do with this movie.
I know, but still, it's
Oh,
part of
okay.
the franchise.
It is your rating, so I guess what can I do?
7.5. That's good.
Because you thought this was going to be shit.
I did. I thought it was gonna be like a 4.
Yeah. He was complaining the whole time.
I was like, we're gonna really watch this stupid movie.
I'm gonna waste my Saturday doing
Yeah,
this.
we're gonna-
And
this
I'm
is
like,
horrible.
Yeah, I know, dude. It was good.
Actually, it wasn't.
Very good.
It was right. Another
Yeah.
gut feeling.
Movie. I told you, man. The next one might not
See,
be so good.
I'm losing my gut feeling now, man.
You are. You're hanging out too much with me.
Yeah, took it from me.
How do you think the rich got rich, man?
Damn! We better watch out for him, man. Yeah.
No, but all in all, guys, go check this movie out.
Check
It's
it
very
out.
freaking good.
Watch
So-
it. It's one of those that you won't get bored.
You won't.
You won't get bored.
Yeah, and
Like us, subscribe to us, share to everybody.
keep watching our videos, guys. We
watching.
appreciate that.
Fucking
And,
hit the bell on the bottom. Subscribe to us. Do it.
And that's the sun setting on us.
That's the sun setting. We're out of here, man.
Till next
Another
time,
blank
fellas.
review for you.